The latest issue of your favorite magazine, copy of the daily newspaper, or latest book from your favorite author was more than likely printed on paper. Paper is something used around the entire world every day. Yet this thin sheet of material that we use to write on doesn't fall from trees. It falls in the form of a tree. The paper industry is a major industry that benefits millions of people, but it is also one that is as controversial as it is beneficial. Every year there are campaigns, protests, and debate surrounding the conservation of trees and forests all around the globe. Environmentalists fighting for the trees will do anything from lobbying in Parliament to chaining themselves to the trees that are being cut. Regardless of how they fight their battle, they all have the same goal and same concerns coming out of it. Clear-cutting is a major area of concern for many of these environmentalists. Habitat destruction, loss of biodiversity, species extinction, soil erosion, and flooding are all environmental byproducts of clear-cutting. But the environment isn't the only thing that is being affected by these clear-cuts. Clear-cutting on unstable slopes can cause for mudslides, which not only destroy the hillside communities, but also have the potential to take the lives of the people living near them. Aside from clear-cutting, another major issue that is being brought forward by environmentalists is global warming. Forests store at least half of the world's terrestrial carbon. In other words, they are extremely important carbon sinks that hold on to pollution that would otherwise cause global warming. The reduction of carbon sinks around the world contributes to climate change, thus threatening the health of the global environment. In fact, 18% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions are a result of deforestation. Forests are the best known cure for global warming to mankind and are being eradicated daily. Environmentalists' red flags have been raised alike because of this destructive manner coming from the paper industry.
Although the industry may look like the villain through the eyes of an environmentally conscious outsider, the industry too has its own vindictions as to why it isn't everything that it may seem to be from the outside. On the environmental front, the paper industry argues that about 1/3 of the raw material used to make paper in the U.S. is residue. Residue is wood, chips, and scraps left behind from forest and sawmill operations. These leftovers would most likely be burned or thrown away, if not used by the paper industry. Meanwhile, another third of the raw material is from recovered or recycled paper. Although some papers are made completely from recycled fiber, paper makers will often combine different amounts of recycling and new fiber to produce the specific paper being made at the time. The paper industry also contributes largely to another important area of the society, the economy. From the frontline men who actually cut the wood, to those who drive the trucks that deliver it to the mill, run the paper mill/factory, transport the paper to the stores, to people who manufacture transportation mediums such as delivery trucks or cargo planes, to paper salesmen, people at the recycling plant, as well as many, many more positions that weren't even mentioned. All of these people, directly or indirectly, are working towards one goal: to get paper to the consumer.
The consumers are the ones that truly dictate how much forest will be destroyed for papermaking. Although most consumers are environmentally aware of the issues at hand, they still are not shy when it comes to using paper products. The average American consumes more than 700 pounds of paper per year, contributing to a national average of 71 million tons of paper and paperboard products every year. More than 2 billion books, 350 million magazines, 24 billion newspapers contribute to this colossal use of paper products being used in America every year. One tree will produce approximately 1,000 to 2,000 pounds of paper, which would fulfill the needs of about 3 average Americans. Keeping in mind that America has a population of almost 312 million people, that would mean that in America alone, 104 million trees would need to be cut down every year. If the paper industry were to stop their operations for environmental concerns, not only would those who are employed by the industry be affected, but the billions of users of the products worldwide would be in a state of chaos.
From a multi-million-dollar industry to the best cure for global warming known to mankind, there is no easy answer to this problem, especially because of how important every side of this matter is. Those coming from any of the sides of this issue can do things to help make the answer easier to unfold. This can be as simple as printing double-sided to save on paper, while still not eliminating it completely from one's life, or as complex as coming up with new methods that will allow for the same amount of production with the use of less trees. For one to form an opinion on what should be done regarding this issue, they must first explore all sides and viewpoints and determine the importance of each one.